What happened with yourself and Roddy Piper regarding the independent show he promoted?
Oh gosh, Roddy Piper. Oh boy, Piper nuts. Can you believe he took his shirt off on TV? Can you believe he threatened he was going to come and try to beat me up? I'm in as good a shape, almost as good a shape as I will. I'll take my shirt off for you right now. I don't mind. Piper, he took his shirt off on WWE TV. That was the worst display of a human body I've ever seen in my life. And I thought, oh my God. Here's a guy who we've been bickering back and forth on the internet. And I challenged him, he challenged me. And yes, if you want, Piper, I will whoop your, I know I can whip your ass. I can tell you that. But anyway, there was a show in Oregon, and I have not wrestled in Oregon ever in my independent days. And in Oregon, the Oregon Athletic Commission at the time was extremely difficult to deal with. You had to have age test, blood test, physical, all kind of stuff you had to do to get a license. And so I said I would come and work for this promoter that was doing the show because I knew he was a nickel and dime promoter. He didn't pay a lot of money. And because I knew from Valentine, because Valentine worked for the guy for $500 a show. So I said, okay, yeah, I'd come do the show for $500. He didn't tell me anything else about it. Then he sends me all this stuff for the commission. I'm looking through it. I'm thinking, okay, there's a $100 office call for the doctor, $175 for an age test, $175 for the piss test and the blood test, whatever else they had on it. So I'm thinking, here's almost $400 for me to get a license. The license is good for a year, but there's one show. So I thought about it, and I thought, I'm probably not going to do this. I decided I probably wasn't going to do it, and I just happened to go over to a website, a Canadian website, and saw where it said, Roddy Piper gets out of the ring and becomes a promoter. And I read it, and now it's about this show that I'm on, where he's now booked Kurt Hennig, Valentine, gosh, I forget, 3 or 4 more stars. And then I investigated a little bit, and I found out that he's given them like $1,500 each to come in. Well, here, I got $400 or $500 worth of doctor bills to have to pay for a $500 payday. I'm a businessman. I realized it wasn't the right thing to do, so I sent the guy a letter. I faxed him a notice, and I canceled myself out of the show. When a promoter cancels, they say, sorry, show's canceled. When a wrestler cancels, they go, oh, shit, man, you just fucked our whole card up. That's it. Oh, fuck, oh, man, you can't cancel on us. What are we going to do? What are you going to do? You find someone else. So then Piper calls me. Oh, man, you can't do this. Blah, blah, blah. I said, well, what do you mean I can't? He said, oh, we got you booked with this girl. She's a bodybuilder from Pennsylvania, and Matt Bourne's trained her. He's worked out with her, and wants you to go out and do this thing with her. And what I did, the key point I found out when I looked at this interview that he did with a Canadian website was Roddy Piper was going to film this for a Roddy Piper pay-per-view or documentary. So I thought, I'm going to go work on his pay-per-view, his documentary, because he'd already gone to Cauliflower Alley that year and carried the cameras and got up there and said he thought everyone in the wrestling business who could afford to do it should give 5% of their wages. Hey, Roddy, have you give one goddamn nickel yet? I bet you haven't, you sorry sack of shit. No. Anyway, this cokehead, yeah, you are. Prove you're not. That's what I say. Take a piss test. Anyway, this guy then, he tells me he wants me to do this, and I said, do what? Why don't you get Dan Severn or Kurt Hennig or one of them guys to wrestle the woman? So it just went out that way, and I left it with, well, maybe I'll think about it, and then after I just said, I blew it off. Nothing went on. I mean, this happened like 4 or 5 years ago. And obviously Piper's way behind on his, his newswire off the internet. And somewhere out of the blue, he sends us an email, or we couldn't believe it was his email in the beginning, because the typos were so bad and the grammar was so terrible. Get a fucking spell check on your computer, asshole. The spelling was so bad, but he admitted he was an 8th grade dropout. He had no education. He wasn't good with a computer. Fuck, any 8th grader can spell something, but it didn't make sense. And we posted it on our website, because if you send us an email, we own it. It's ours now, and we post it. And we posted with his email address. So then he got really mad. He's wanting to kill me now. He's wanting to fight me anywhere, and because he says he doesn't leave his house for less than $400,000, and I'm sure Vince was paying you that each show, right, Roddy? Another lie. And he'll fight me anywhere. He's in the best shape of his life, and I see him on WWE TV. He takes his shirt off. So his emails, we posted them on the website, and then he said we were messing with his family because not his family. And somebody on the site put a big L on his forehead, his loser, and put a Coke shirt on him. And what really pissed him off the most, this is what really pissed him off, we superimposed his head on Savage's body with me on where there was a picture in the magazine, there's a picture around where I've got Savage covered for a false finish. So we stuck Piper's head on it and put the caption on our website, Honky Tonk Man, HTM pins Piper nuts. And he went completely berserk. He threatened lawsuits. Listen, you can threaten anything. But if you're in the public eye, like Roddy Piper and myself, we can parody you. And what we did was a parody. And he had no legal nothing. He said he owned that image belonged to him, and we were desecrating his image by showing it me covering him and saying that I pinned him. So this went on for a few months, and I told him, I sent word that, hey, I'm going to be up in Washington, not too far from Oregon, that I'd be there on a Friday and Saturday night, and if he wanted to stop by and us set it like real men, he could, but he never showed.
What's your opinion on him as a person and worker?
In the beginning, he was always could talk, and do the Daffy Duck. He does a great Howie Mandel, the comedian Howie Mandel. That's a Roddy Piper. If you watch Howie Mandel, you'll say, Roddy Piper. Anyway, then he tried to be Bill Murray, another comedian. But as far as his work, he's a small guy. You guys sitting here in the room with me right now, you're all as big or bigger than Piper. And he's made his money being a small guy who would never put anybody over. He never got beat. His thing was, there's a million finishes. There's no reason for you to ever get a 1, 2, 3 on me. And he was able to persuade promoters and bookers over the years. He didn't work in a lot of places. Started in California, then went to Oregon. Don Owens liked him and took care of him. He went to Carolinas where George Scott took care of him. He did commentary in Atlanta for that group, and then got to WWE. George Scott was WWE, so Piper had his little thing.
Right.
He was secure.
Watch thousands of exclusive shoot interviews right now on TitleMatchNetwork.com.
Title Match Network, your source for everything pro wrestling, with exclusive live pay-per-views featuring top talent from around the world.
Oh, I like that one.
Details direct from the source with deep-diving shoot interviews and podcasts.
I love it. I love being a part of Title Match Network.
Get extreme with exclusive death matches.
I threw the door!
And of course, the best selection in women's wrestling available.
Oh!
What's going to happen?
With thousands of clips featured on Title Match Network's YouTube channel with over 2.3 million subscribers.
Oh!
All at the tips of your fingers. Every style available 24/7 on demand. Visit TitleMatchNetwork.com to sign up today and start watching instantly.